news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV, Abuja. Many thanks for joining. The headlines: Telecom tariff hike, federal government deploys security agents as Nigeria Labour Congress insists on protest. The Edo Petition Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as panel alleges 96 billion naira fraud under Obaseki. The Federal Medical Center Board chair secures 8 million naira for Ogun schoolgirls' heart surgery. Federal government will decide Keystone Bank's future, says analysts. And now to the foreign space, where at least 9 dead in United States floods and heavy rain. Join us after a quick break for details. Welcome back. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps on Sunday warned Nigeria Labour Congress against its planned March 1st shutdown on telecommunications services in response to the recent 50% tariff hike. The Private Telecommunications and Communications Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria similarly pushed back against NLC's planned boycotts of telecom services and shutdown of telecom infrastructure, arguing that such actions are misguided and could harm the industry. The spokesman for the NSCDC, Babawale Afolabi, in a chat with the media on Sunday, said the agency had deployed operatives to the base stations to prevent any illegal action by the protesters. The NSCDC tasked with protecting critical national infrastructure, including telecommunications, expressed concerns over the potential risks the NLC action could pose to national security and public safety. Meanwhile, the Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpeholo, has vowed to petition the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged financial mismanagement during the administration of his predecessor, Godwin Obaseki. A report by an administrative panel of inquiry claimed that 96 billion naira was misappropriated during Obaseki's tenure. Okpeholo made this known on last Friday while receiving the panel's reports, which was submitted to him in Benin City. The findings were disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday by his chief press secretary, Fred Itua. The panel, constituted on December 18, 2024, investigated the financial dealings of the 18 impeached local government chairmen from September 4, 2023 to November 2024. The report indicated that only the former chairman, but also that prominent figures within the factional People's Democratic Party were complicit in the misappropriation of funds. Governor Okpeholo commended the panel for its professionalism and emphasized that financial recklessness in public office would no longer be tolerated. Meanwhile, chairman of the Board of Management at Federal Medical Center Idiaba, Abeokuta, Dr. Dayo Israel, has facilitated an 8 million naira donation to cover the cost of surgery for a teenage secondary school student, Rachel Idowu, suffering from a congenital heart defect. According to her, Dr. Idowu was born with lung complications, a condition that has significantly affected her growth, school participation, and ability to perform daily tasks. A statement issued on Monday by the hospital's head of information and public relations, Dr. Shegun Orisacho, detailed how the teenager's fortune changed when the board chairman brought her case to the attention of his friend, Mr. Olawale Ayelara, who immediately stepped in to cover the cost of surgery. Speaking, Ayelara thanks God for the grace to be of assistance in such a dire situation while calling on other Nigerians to lend to support one another for a better world. Idowu and her mother, Mrs. Modupe Idowu, were also said to be full of gratitude to the hospital board chairman and his friend for the humanitarian gesture. And now on business news, as the federal government takes over Keystone Bank, analysts have projected that it will be looking at a restructuring, a sale or a merger to boost the fortunes of the lender. The projection came days after the Lagos State High Court Ikeja ordered the forfeiture of shares previously held by the bank's former shareholders, Sigma Gulf Nigeria Limited and Alhaji Umaru H. Modibo. The bank described development as a significant milestone which would position it for sustained growth, stronger partnerships, and enhanced profitability. Speaking on the development, a former president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Okechukwu Onegbu, told journalists that the move by the Central Bank of Nigeria to reassure bank customers of the stability of the bank was key. This is News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still, you're watching News Analysis on Politics and Business TV. We'll go on a short break and then we'll back to bring you more reports. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's good to know you're still watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV, Abuja. Now to the foreign space. At least 9 people have died over the weekend as torrential downpours drenched parts of the southeastern U.S., submerging roads in houses. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said 8 people had died in his state and said at a news conference on Monday that the total could go up. Hundreds of people stranded in flood waters, many stuck in their cars, had been rescued, and Beshear warned residents to stay off the roads right now and stay alive. In Georgia, the 9th death was recorded after a man lying in his bed was struck by an uprooted tree that crashed into his home. Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina were under some type of storm-related alerts this weekend. And for sports, let's join Abel Sunday for updates.
Good afternoon and welcome to P&B Sports News. I'm Abel Sunday. Tottenham Hotspur took on Manchester United in the Premier League yesterday. Tottenham won 1-0 with James Maddison scoring the only goal in the 13th minute. The match was intense with Manchester United Casemiro receiving a yellow card in the 41st minute. Tottenham Ben Davies also got a yellow card in the 79th minute. This win is a significant boost for Tottenham. Away to Liverpool. Liverpool won 2-1 with goals from Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah. Wolverhampton's Ryan scored their only goal. Liverpool dominated the match with Salah's penalty kick being the decisive factor. This win helps Liverpool maintain their lead in the Premier League table. That's all for sports today. I'm Abel Sunday.
The International Monetary Fund has come out to say that Nigeria suffers economic downturn as GDP per capita falls to 72%. Join us shortly for details. Welcome back. Africa's largest oil producer, home to over 200 million people, has witnessed a worsening economic downturn in 10 years, with the GDP per capita plummeting by 72.35%. Data obtained from the website of the International Monetary Fund indicated that Nigeria's GDP per capita declined from $3,000 in 2014 to $835.49 in 2024, signaling a sharp contraction in the average economic output per person. The country's total gross domestic product, the overall value of goods and services produced, also fell steeply from $568.5 billion recorded in 2014 to $194.96 billion in 2024, marking a staggering 65.71% decline over the period. Beyond the contraction in economic output, Nigeria's real GDP growth has also slowed considerably. The IMF data showed that real GDP growth, which measures economic expansion adjusted for inflation, stood at 6.3% in 2014, but has dropped to 2.9% in 2024. The economic crisis has been exacerbated by policy reforms initiated in 2023 under President Bola Tinubu, who is currently in Ethiopia for the African Union Summit just a week after visiting Emmanuel Macron in France. Joining us to discuss today's topic is Malam Yushua Aliyu, in-house economist. Good afternoon to you, Yushua Aliyu.
Good afternoon.
So I'll begin by asking, just last week, Tinubu's political allies claimed that there are signs of growth in this administration. What real growth are they talking about when inflation keeps soaring every day?
It depends on the consideration of any analyst or of any political allies, but what is obtainable in the economy is simple. There is high inflation, there is high unemployment, and not only that, there is gross reduction in the purchasing power of individuals in the economy. And once you have a reduction in the consumption power of each economy, of individual in any economy, you have to now begin to witness a reduction in the gross domestic product, and that translates to many other factors aggregate to macroeconomic indices.
All right, so what do you think are the implications of this new update from the IMF that Nigeria suffers economic downturn as GDP per capita has fallen to 72%?
The first thing is to adhere that most of the policy recommendations by the IMF to the economy has failed, because the IMF has, under doctrine of moral suasion, has advised Nigeria to devalue its currency so that there will be inflow of foreign direct investment and other economic aggregate. But unfortunately, that is not the result, and that has been our stand for a very long time. Anytime you have an economy and that economy requires certain fundamentals to be achieved, and that fundamentals are ignored, and then definitely the end result will be what we are witnessing, and the IMF will not keep their mouth shut. They will continue to applaud because they are the mouthpiece of financial institution of the world.
Exactly. So let's shift our focus a bit to federal government allocation that keeps rising every year. What do you think is the significance of this rising federal allocation when a good number of Nigerians still remain in abject poverty, Meanwhile, some economists have come out to begin to argue that increased revenue allocation has not translated into improved standard of living.
I mean, when inflation is itching, no matter the increase in allocation, it will be swallowed by the gap between previous inflation rate and current inflation rate. And that has been the situation. It shows you take a household case study. A household that is earning 30,000 but was able to purchase a bag of 50 kilograms of rice at 7,000, and you cannot compare him when his income rises to 70,000 and he cannot purchase 50 kilograms of the same rice. These are just simple indicators that will tell you that until you manage some of these macroeconomic ingredients, you cannot succeed.
All right, so talking about the itchiness of the inflation, what do you think are the sound policies that the government should implement for effective results?
There should be a structural stability or financial stability in the economy. Over a period, the value of individual income vis-a-vis the prices in the economy. If government can maintain that for a period, then definitely will begin to have a stability in the economy, and then one government also will now push him into considering topical sectors of the economy which are very, very seriously needed in the economy, including power, including security. These are fundamentals for our economy to have to breathe over a period.
All right, thank you very much, Usually for joining us on today's program. And that will be the size of our today's program. Thank you for watching. My name is Idris Amina. Bye for now.